Hello, fellow gardeners. Well, I want to talk a little bit about some of these plants and some of the questions that they're asking. Some of them may be repetitious a little bit, but we try to get a little deeper and a little deeper into these questions. And I think one of the questions was asked if you use those milk jugs in the bottom of that container now, you know, they're up here about 7, 8 inches tall, 9 inches tall maybe. Different ones got different levels. Even the pop bottles we turn upside down, you know, are probably 7 to 8 inches tall. And they're worried about not having too much soil up above that. Well, what we're trying to do, you know, we put a hole at 5 inches up. And yes, we could have raised that hole a little bit after started using those jugs from that 6-inch pipe. We come on up here 8 or 9 inches with a jug. We could have raised it up 7 or 8 inches, but I don't want you to, because you can get too much water too close to the plant and it can't do what it wants to do on wicking. But if you'll put that hole at 5 inches, put those jugs all in there, fill the extra holes with the water, the pop bottles or the water bottles. Make sure you put holes at the top and the bottom of the holes of the bottles, so the water can transfer back and forth as the air moves. As the water level goes down, the air can come in. As the water level goes up, when you're filling it, the air will be pushed out into your soil. But see, what we're trying to do, and I know people are saying, well, that's not much soil left on top of those jugs. You only got about, 9 inches or 8 inches. That's okay. These plants are growing in that soil on top. But guess what? They're going to put some roots on down into that water to get that water they need. Extra. When it's real hot and they're wanting more to drink than just what they're getting wicked up to them, those roots will go into that water, and they will put water roots on the end of those roots. Now, so don't try to outguess how the good Lord made these plants. They're going to go put their roots where the water is. Just like a tree. A tree will put roots down all the way to the water level, way down under the ground. They can know where that water is. Just like these little old plants. They know that water's underneath them, and they can go down there and get it. And that's what they'll do. So don't think you've got to have soil all the way to the bottom, except just a little bit there now, the 20% or less that wicks the water up to the plants. Okay? Because it'll go get its excess when it needs more. These are some more of those banana peppers I was talking about here in another video. And these are those little jalapenos that, not the mucho nachos, this is the little regular one, but look how pretty those are, the red and the green. They make you can fix you one of these tubs full of these peppers, put you about 4 of those jalapeno pepper plants in there, or bananas, or mix them, and you can even put an orange habanero in with them, and you can have a rainbow of peppers in a pot that's beautiful. And you can eat off of it besides looking at it. I could show you a lot of different peppers you could put in here, like the red chilies, or you could put the habaneros, just on and on and on, all kind of peppers.
That could almost be a Christmas basket.
It could be, yes. The only thing is, you don't want to put your banana peppers or your pimento peppers in with these, because it might make them turn hot after you save those seeds out there and plant them next year. They could be hot. Unless you like hot pimento, then it matter hot. And then, did you have another?
One other question before we leave. Go back to the jugs in the bottom of the container.
Yes.
Is it necessary, or can you add gravel?
Okay, let me tell you. That was back in the old tubs where everybody punched holes in the bottom. They put gravel in there to kind of keep their soil from washing out their holes, and also to kind of give a little aeration down there in the bottom, so the roots could get some air down there in the bottom of that pot. But now then, since we fill it up 5 inches of water, there's no need of putting gravel in there. You're wasting your money on it, you're wasting your time on it, and besides that, it makes your pot extra heavy to have a lot of gravel in the bottom of it. So I don't recommend putting any gravel in there. I don't see any need for gravel anywhere in this wicking tub. Not saying that though, you could put, and I know there's people that uses that gravel in the bottom in the place of my jugs. And that would be different. Now, if you put 4 inches of gravel or 5 inches or 6 inches even of gravel in there without my jugs or without my pipe, and then put your soil on, then you could have, that would be your reservoir for your water. It just wouldn't hold as much water because probably a half to 2/3 of it would be rock. So you're not holding as much water. Whereas the jugs are empty and it's going to hold 100% water, it would hold more water than the gravel. But I don't see any need of putting gravel in. I've tried them in the past. They're so heavy you can't move them with a 5 or 6 inches of gravel in there. So I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not saying you can't use it. You know, these are just suggestions I do. This is not something that's you've got to do. I'm just telling you what we do, what we recommend, and you do from there on what you want to do. Okay, we're going to punch the button. We're going to ring the bell and subscribe, and we'll try to make you another video.